Coming up next, if money was no object, which fragrance would I buy right now? Right now, what is on my list for one of my next purchases, I'm going to show you coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, to Joel the Nose here at Osme Perfumery on another beautiful day. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that button down below. You can ring the bell, of course, for notifications, and you can like this video if you really like it. But let me get right into this video. I wanted to talk about something which I haven't done in a while, about kind of fragrances that are on my wish list. And especially, you know, sometimes those are going to be fragrances that are a little bit more money. And one of the houses that is truly spectacular, but most of the fragrances are going to be in the higher end. So, you know, you got to choose wisely. And this is a fragrance that I've worn now a bunch of times, and it absolutely is next in line on something that I'm going to be purchasing for my own personal collection. And that is, without further ado, let me just make sure you can see it here. Amber Sapphire. Amber Sapphire. Those of you who know this brand from the bottle, this is Boadicea, the Victorious. Truly a beautiful brand from the bottles alone. Let me show you the caps. This, you know, it's got to focus in there. There you go. Look at that cap. Okay. So Boadicea is one of my favorite houses. It's one that I wear quite frequently, but it's not in my personal collection, a full bottle yet. And that's because some of the fragrances I like the most are approaching $1,000 or more. So this is one that you want to make sure you test it, get a sample, like from here at Osme. You can order a sample or whatever you want, buy a decant, wear it. I can pretty much guarantee once you do that, you're going to be purchasing one of these fragrances. And actually, I kind of owe this video to my friend Kyle, who's also a subscriber, and he's at Osme here a lot. We always run into each other. And Kyle kind of asked me, he's like, yeah, you know, you haven't done a video on Boadicea, you know, or that many. And again, it's something I thought about, like, you know what, even though it's more expensive, I got to talk about it because it really is an amazing house. So just to talk about this one a little bit more, again, Amber Sapphire, I'm going to spray it on me right here so you can see I'm actually wearing it. You know, what I love about this one is it's got this opening it's got this cinnamon opening. And I love kind of a little bit spicy, sweet opening to fragrances. And, oh yeah, I mean, when you spray this, it's a very dry cinnamon, almost like the cinnamon powder that you would, I guess, put in food, you know, the little, you know, cartons of cinnamon that you put. It has that kind of dry, aromatic cinnamon feel to it. But it's also got at the top, like many fragrances do, you know, some bergamot that gives it the kind of that citrusy, so it's a little bit bright, it's light, and it's got that, again, cinnamon feel to it. As it dries down, you get this kind of rose. To me, the main element in the heart notes or the middle notes is this beautiful rose element. Excuse me while I keep smelling. I'm sorry, while I keep smelling. But it also has this kind of a little bit of a boozy rum element to it. I love rum fragrances. I love it. Reminds me again more of this kind of Miami vibe. It's not meant to be a Miami vibe, but anytime I smell rum, it makes me think of, right, mojitos or, you know, daiquiris, whatever you may want. And then there's also an element that I get of this magnolia. I love the smell of magnolia. It's not something you smell all the time, but it just gives this fragrance a very elegant appeal. And of course, you know, when you're talking about amber, which is going to be in the base of the fragrance, but it really runs throughout. It has just, you know, very much a rich amber vibe, a seductive, smart, elegant, sexy amber vibe. And to me, those are some of the best fragrances on my skin because it gives a very warm appeal to it. Warm fragrances do best on my skin. I don't know why. Maybe it's because my skin's a little bit more oily. It's a little bit darker. So visually and both from a, you know, scent standpoint, I like amber, darker fragrances on my skin. They just mix well with that warm, oozing, kind of beautiful, seductive smell. And then there's also this beautiful touch of oud. And the oud almost comes across to me as a little bit of a, at the top, almost as a little bit of a tobacco vibe. It's not, again, it's not a tobacco fragrance, but I get a little bit of a tobacco vibe to it. And of course, one of the other elements in the base note, besides amber and oud, which is absolutely one of my top 2 or 3 fragrance notes at all, or of all, is cedar. Cedar, again, is a beautiful fragrance for my skin. So if you have skin, if you've heard, you know what I like, guys. You know the fragrances that I talk about. Obviously, I talk about ones I like and that I want to promote to you guys, that I want you guys to try. This is one, please get your nose on it. If you haven't tried something from Boadicea, I know it's a big step up for most people. I know it's, you know, obviously more expensive. So I know some of them do have, right, 50 milliliter options. I don't know if in this one. Not for this one, but if you want to try another Boadicea, there are, right, some 50 milliliter options.
Used to before COVID.
Ah, well, used to. So here we go. Here's breaking news. Before COVID, you did. So you got to get into a 100 milliliter bottle. So again, try a sample first. It's not going to be something you want to blind buy unless, of course, you just, you know, you've come into a windfall of money and you want to blind buy something. But you've heard me talk about that before. I don't recommend blind buying. Come to a place like Osme here where you can smell it on your skin, or if you can't get here, order, you know, one of the sample decants online. They're great about getting those things out quickly too, so you can smell it, and then you can pull the trigger, because if you don't have Boadicea in your collection, you got to be like me and you got to add it now, okay? If you love niche fragrances. So that's it for today. This is JoelTheNose. Thank you guys for watching as always. I'll be back soon with another video. Hope everyone's having a great day. Peace and love.